This idea, that ancient bloodlines hold supernatural power, recurs in occult circles, Gnostic texts, and even fringe archaeology. The Flood, divine reset. The Book of Enoch presents the Great Flood not simply as punishment for mankind, but as a divine reset to purge the world of the Nephilim. The deluge was not just judgment, it was containment, a cosmic quarantine. And yet, Genesis says they returned afterward. The Nephilim were on the earth in those days, and also afterward. How? Through preserved bloodlines, hidden survivors, genetic reawakening, prophecy and return. Enoch hints that the spirits of the giants, now demons, would increase in the last days, that they would influence kings, drive madness, whisper technology, and prepare the way for the return of their fathers. Could this be why the Book of Enoch was banned? Because it not only speaks of the past, but predicts a future they tried to hide. The Nephilim are more than giants. They are symbols of corruption, secrets of origin, and perhaps echoes of a war that never ended, a war of blood, spirit, and knowledge, and maybe, just maybe, their story is not over. The end was not a mystery to Enoch. It was a vision, a sequence of cosmic events, angelic wars, and divine justice. Through veils of time and fire, Enoch saw the end of days, not just for humanity, but for the Watchers, for the Nephilim, and for the earth itself. The final judgment revealed. The final chapters of the Book of Enoch describe a dramatic conclusion to history, one in which the righteous are vindicated, the wicked judged, and the cosmos is remade. The Watchers are bound in the underworld, the Nephilim spirits are purged, the earth is healed, and above it all, a figure known as the Elect One, the Son of Man, executes divine judgment. Enoch doesn't just describe apocalypse, he maps it, he names names, he gives locations. The end isn't chaos, it's a restoration. The Book of Parables and the coming Messiah. In this section, the messianic figure returns, no longer hidden, no longer veiled. This is the Son of Man, the one who sits on the throne of glory. Quote, 1 Enoch 62:5. Then shall the kings, the princes, and all who possess the earth fall down before him on their faces, and they shall be terrified and dejected, and pain shall seize them when they see that Son of Man sitting on the throne of his glory. Here we see a world turned upside down. The mighty fall, the meek rise, and hidden truths are brought to light. This section resonates with later Christian apocalyptic visions, yet predates them by centuries. The fire of the ancient ones. Enoch describes judgment by fire, not only physical, but spiritual. This fire cleanses, burns away illusion, and resets reality. He speaks of a new heaven and new earth, where the righteous dwell in peace. Fire was not just destruction. In Enoch, fire is transformation, the end of one age and the beginning of another. Prophecy for our time. Some believe Enoch's apocalyptic visions speak not only of ancient times, but of now. Earthquakes, wars, sky phenomena, all described in Enoch's symbolic language. He warns of false leaders, persecuted prophets, and a time when humanity forgets the sacred. Quote, Enoch 82. And in the days of the sinners the years shall be shortened, and the moon shall alter her order, and not appear at her time. Could these passages refer to climate change, artificial intelligence, spiritual decay? Enoch does not name our world, but he names the pattern. The Book of Enoch ends where Revelation begins, with a judgment, yes, but also with a promise, that the Watchers will fall, that the Nephilim will be silenced, that the earth will be healed, and that truth, though buried, will rise. Why would a book that speaks of angels, visions of heaven, and the coming of a righteous Savior be hidden, censored, even declared heretical? The answer is simple and dangerous, because Enoch empowers the reader. It bypasses religious institutions and hands cosmic knowledge directly to you. and in doing so, it threatens the structures that control belief. The war for sacred knowledge. In the early centuries after Christ, Christianity was diverse, mystical, and alive with competing ideas. There were Gnostics, mystics, desert fathers, and among them, the Book of Enoch was revered. Church fathers like Tertullian defended it. The Book of Jude quotes it. Early Christians saw Enoch not as myth, but as revelation. A religion of revelation became a religion of empire. The Council of Laodicea, circa 363 AD, formalized the biblical canon, and Enoch was excluded. Why? Because Enoch doesn't align with official doctrine. It names angels the Bible leaves unnamed. It speaks of multiple heavens, cosmic laws, and pre-Christian messiahs. It describes a God too big for temples, and justice that falls even on angels. That was dangerous. Echoes of forbidden wisdom. Voiceover. But Enoch didn't disappear, it went underground. The Ethiopian Orthodox Church, one of the oldest Christian traditions, kept the Book of Enoch in its canon. For centuries it was preserved in Ge'ez, unknown to the West until 1773. James Bruce, a Scottish explorer, returned with copies, and scholars were stunned. The book matched ancient fragments found among the Dead Sea Scrolls, confirming its authenticity. What if the forbidden book never really vanished? What if its ideas secretly shaped religions, inspired magicians, and echoed through the occult traditions of the modern world? This is the hidden legacy of Enoch, a legacy buried not in dust, but in symbols, rituals, and esoteric doctrines that whisper his name across time. Enoch in early Christianity and Gnosticism. The early Christian world was rich with mystical interpretations. Before doctrine hardened, Christians explored the cosmos like Enoch, with visions, dreams, and hidden wisdom. The Gnostics embraced divine ascent, the soul rising through heavenly spheres, much like Enoch's journey. Some sects saw Enoch as the prototype of the enlightened soul, one who overcame the material prison and united with divine knowledge, gnosis. The Gospel of Thomas, Pistis Sophia, and other apocryphal texts echo Enoch's voice, albeit under different names. To the early mystics, salvation was not merely faith, it was knowledge. Enoch wasn't a prophet, he was a path. The occult revival. In the 19th and 20th centuries, the Book of Enoch was rediscovered by mystics and occultists. It became a cornerstone text in esoteric circles. Groups like the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, theosophists, and occult philosophers saw Enoch not as a relic, but as a manual for spiritual ascent. They read Enoch not with fear, but with awe. Because it did not speak of blind obedience, it spoke of transformation. Why was it truly forbidden? At its core, Enoch tells us, angels can fall, men can ascend. The cosmos is alive, structured, and filled with intelligences. The final judge is not a church, not a king, but a cosmic principle of truth. This terrifies hierarchies. The Book of Enoch reminds us that the sacred is not controlled by institutions. It lives in stars, in numbers, in dreams, in the soul's direct encounter with the divine. And that's why it was hidden. Echoes in modern times today, Enoch is still largely excluded from Bibles. But his voice rises again, through translations, scholarship, and even fiction and film. And maybe that's the greatest fear of all, that Enoch's truth cannot stay buried. The Book of Enoch was forbidden not because it was false, but because it was too true, because it refused to be silenced, because it whispers to the soul, reminding us that the divine is not confined to cathedrals, but lives in stars, in stories, and in us. To read Enoch is not to find answers, but to awaken the ancient questions. To be continued in Chapter 9. Enoch's hidden influence, the secret impact on religion, magic, and the occult, the Kabbalistic revival, Metatron, and the tree of life. In Jewish mysticism, especially Kabbalah, Enoch returns in a transformed state. As Metatron, the highest of angels, he becomes a cosmic scribe and divine intermediary. In the Zohar and mystical texts, Metatron guards the heavenly palace. He records the deeds of mankind in the celestial archive. Some Kabbalists even viewed him as a second, lesser overarching. The tree of life, central to Kabbalah, is said to mirror the celestial order Enoch beheld. His journey through heavens became a model for mystical ascent. In the chambers of the Sephirot, Metatron waits. He is the divine scribe, and perhaps our forgotten ancestor. The occultists, Enochian magic and the Renaissance revival. During the Renaissance, Enoch re-emerged, not in churches but in laboratories, libraries and magical circles. Dr. John Dee, court astrologer to Queen Elizabeth I, claimed to receive a language from angels, Enochian. With Edward Kelly, he documented symbols, keys and invocations believed to be from the Book of Enoch. These writings became foundational for Western occult traditions. For Dee, Enoch wasn't just a prophet. He was the first magician, the one who spoke with angels and learned their language. The Golden Dawn, Thelema, and modern magical orders continue to use Enochian systems. Enoch's influence in modern religion. Though banned from canon, Enoch's ideas persist. Jehovah's Witnesses, Mormons, and some Christian mystics reference ideas similar to Enoch's visions. Islam has figures like Idris, often associated with Enoch. In Ethiopia, Enoch remains canonical and sacred. Across religions, his name changes, but his truth remains that man is more than flesh, that the heavens are open, that angels walk among us. The hidden current. Enoch is not just a book, it's a current beneath the surface of spiritual history. It flows through Judaism, Christianity, Islam, Gnosticism, Hermeticism, and the occult.